I fixed the picture on the hallway wall, the one we took before the fall. I watered the flowers you used to keep and made the bed where I barely sleep. I opened the curtains, let the sunlight in, pretended the story hadn't reached its end. If somebody walked through that front door, they'd think nothing changed before. I became a man who knew the art of hiding an empty house with a faithful heart. I looked like love still lived here, like your footsteps were still near, like your coat still hung by the door, and I was waiting just like before. I smiled like I wasn't missing you, like my world was still complete and true. Everybody saw life standing tall. Nobody knew love had left these walls. The coffee cups still sit in pairs, your favorite chair is still right there. I tell myself I should move things around, but I can't erase what we once found. Every room still says your name, even though nothing remains the same. A house can keep 1,000 traces of all the people it embraces. Some men clean the pain away, some men learn to live with yesterday. I look like love still lived here, like I had nothing left to fear. My clothes were pressed, my smile was kind, while a lonely storm lived in my mind. I welcomed everyone who came inside, never letting them see what I had. They praised the peace they felt in the air, not knowing I was keeping you there. Another day, I kept it because our love was real, and some beautiful things take time to heal. I look like love still lived here, though the silence was all I could hear. The rooms grew older, the seasons changed, but my respect for us remained. So I straighten my collar and carry on, in a home where your voice is gone. A gentleman guarding what we built for years, looking like love still lived here. jacket still hangs by the door, just like it did 100 times before. You'd steal it when the evening got cold, laughing, saying, "It fits me better, you know." The sleeves would fall past your little hands. You'd walk around like you owned the man. I'd pretend I wanted it back, just to hear you laugh like that. Funny how the smallest things we share become the memories that stay the longest there. My jacket still waits for you, like it knows what we used to do. It remembers your perfume and your smile, the way you wore it for a little while. Now it hangs in the quiet air, holding a love that isn't there. A piece of me still hopes it's true, that my jacket still waits for you. Winter comes and the nights turn long, and somehow that jacket feels more alone. I can still see you by the fireplace, with my coat wrapped around your face. You'd say I look better than you tonight, and I'd argue just for the delight. I never knew those little games would become the things I'd miss the same. We spend our lives chasing the grandest days, then lose our hearts over the smallest ways. My jacket still waits for you, for the woman who made all things feel new. Every thread carries a little scene of a life that we used to dream. People ask why I keep it there, like it's just a coat I used to wear. They don't know it still carries you. My jacket still waits for you. A little corner they can still embrace. My jacket still waits for you, not because I can't make it through, but because there was a time in my life when you wore my name and wore my pride. The cold still comes, the seasons move, but some old comforts remain true. And every time the evening turns blue, my jacket still waits for you. out tonight looking for a shirt I hadn't seen in years. But tucked behind those quiet hangers was a lifetime made of tears. Your scarf was still beside my jacket, like you had just walked out the room. Funny how a little forgotten corner can bring a whole house back to bloom. Some people think memories stay in the mind, but mine are hanging right here in a line. There's blues hanging in my closet, right beside the clothes I used to wear. Old nights folded in the fabric, and a love still living there. Every sleeve has a story, every button knows my pain. I closed the door 1,000 times, but the blues remain. That old blue suit remembers dancing when your head rested on my chest. My Sunday coat remembers your laughter when you said I looked my best. The winter jacket still remembers how you'd steal it when you got cold. Now all that's left are empty sleeves and memories growing old. I never knew ordinary things would become the treasures heartbreak brings. There's blues hanging in my closet, in every thread and every seam. The man I was is still inside there, holding on to an old dream. The world sees a man moving forward with a smile they all believe. But there's a lonely song in my closet that refuses to leave. Change my home, but some kinds of love leave a mark that even time can't take apart. There's blues hanging in my closet, but I don't curse what we went through, because every tear inside those clothes means I once had something true. So I straighten my collar and face the day, even though a part of me stayed among old suits, old dreams, and old photographs, where my heart still quietly waits. I picked the suit you always loved, the one you said made me stand above. I pressed every line with careful hands, still believing in our old plans. I wore the watch you gave to me, like time could return what used to be. I walked through the door with hope in my eyes, never expecting our final goodbye. I came dressed for another chapter. You came carrying the last page. It was the last time I dressed for us, the last time I believed in forever's trust. My tie was straight, my shoes were bright, but my world fell apart that night. Everyone saw a gentleman stand, no one saw the shaking hands. I looked like a man still deeply in love, because it was the last time I dressed for us. The candles burned, the music played, while our beautiful memories slowly faded. You spoke with kindness, soft and slow, the hardest words I've ever known. I held my tears behind a smile, tried to stay strong for a little while. But when you walked out of my life, everything lost its color that night. Some goodbyes arrived with no warning call, they quietly take away it all. It was the last time I dressed for us, the last time I placed my faith in love's promise. My jacket stayed perfect, my heart came undone. A lonely battle, nobody saw me fight alone. Everyone remembered how well I looked, not the pain written in the pages you closed. The finest clothes I ever put on were worn the last time I dressed for us. I still keep that suit hanging there, not because I live in despair, but because it reminds me I gave my best, a heart with nothing left unconfessed. It was the last time I dressed for us, the last time our dreams shared the same touch. The man in the mirror still wears that grace, though time has changed the lines on his face. I straightened my collar and carried the years with quiet dignity and hidden tears. A gentleman knows what love can cost. When the last time he dressed for us was also the day he lost. There's a suit hanging in the back of my closet, covered by years and a little dust. The same one I wore on the night you told me that love was no longer enough for us. I bought new jackets, new shoes, new ties. I've walked through 1,000 different days, but that one suit still holds a version of me that I had to leave behind that day. Funny how a piece of fabric can keep the shape of a man who couldn't sleep. The suit I never wore again still knows who I was back then. A man with dreams in his pocket and forever written in his plans. I outgrew the pain, I learned to heal, but some memories still feel too real. So it stays where the past has always been. The suit I never wore again. You used to straighten my collar gently before we walked out hand in hand. You'd smile and say I looked handsome, like I was the luckiest man. Now I can barely touch that hanger without seeing your face in the room. A simple thing that once brought joy became a witness to our doom. Some clothes don't fade when time goes by. They carry the moments we can't deny. The suit I never wore again was the last thing that saw us as we back then. The last dance, the last goodbye, the last time I looked into your eyes. I moved ahead, but I still understand. Some things don't fit the same, old man. The past still visits every now and then. Through the suit I never wore again. The suit I never wore again wasn't just cloth, thread, and a pin. It carried my hope, my youth, my trust, the part of me that belonged to us. Now I wear new colors, I walk new roads with scars hidden beneath my clothes. But there's one old suit that remains, the suit I never wore again.